Hi students, this is Miss Tomorrow and we're going to start off the polynomial unit. So my first question is, before I start, just a reminder, if I'm going too fast and you are writing something down, remember you can pause the video. Okay, so let's take a look at the first question. Can we divide this? I have 2x to the fourth minus 15x squared minus 10x plus 5 divided by x minus 3. So normally when we divide, we factor and cancel, but I'm looking at the top and I don't think I can factor that. Does that mean we have to do long division? So if I do long division, I'd have to make sure all my coefficients are in order. And what I would have to do is look at the x and say, okay, how many times can x go into 2x to the fourth? Well, I think it can go in 2x to the third. Because now, if I multiply them, 2x to the third times x is 2x to the fourth, times 2x to the third times negative 3 is negative 6x to the third. And then we would have to subtract, so these would cancel, and I would get a 6x to the third, and then I would have to bring that down, and then I would have to see how many times x goes into that, and I don't know. This is kind of annoying. Is there a shorter way to do this? Because I'm pretty lazy. Oh, synthetic division. That's right. Oh, so what is synthetic division? Well, I'm glad you asked. Here's what synthetic division looks like. So instead of trying to divide all those numbers, what we're going to do is we're going to drag each of the coefficients into the spaces below. So we're dividing by x minus 3. That means the root, which if I set that equal to 0 and solved it, I would get 3, must go in the box. So it's basically the opposite sign. Okay, now making sure my coefficients are in order, I'm going to take each coefficient and put it on the line. So I have 2, 0, negative 15, negative 10, and 5. Now, to do synthetic division, what we're going to do is whatever the first coefficient is comes down. Then we multiply by what's in the box. So 3 times 2 is 6. We put that under the second coefficient, and we add whatever's left. So 0 plus 6 is 6. Let's multiply. 3 times 6 is 18. We're going to put that in the next slot. Add them together. I get a 3. Multiply. 3 times 3 is 9. Add them together. I get negative 1. 3 times negative 1 is negative 3. Add them together. I get 2. Okay. What is the answer? Well, the answer is going to be whatever the highest power is that I started with on top, which if I look back up here was x to the fourth, I'm going to go down a power. So if I go down a power, this is going to be 2x to the third. And then I have positive 6, so plus x squared. Then I have a positive 3, so plus 3x. So each time you go down a power, minus 1, and then the number in the end is the remainder. So we have a remainder of 2. The remainder, remember when you did long division back in the day, is what's left over. So obviously this does not divide evenly. Okay, let's try another one. All right, we got 11x squared plus 6x to the third minus 4x minus 4 divided by x plus 2. So again, we're going to put whatever's in the denominator, the opposite sign, in the box. So negative 2 goes in the box. Now, before I start lining my coefficients up, I need to make sure they are in order. And I need to make sure that I don't have any missing. So if I look, I have 6x to the third. Then the next one would be a positive 11x squared. The next one would be minus 4x and then minus 4. So make sure you have all of them and they're in order. If you are missing one, you must put a 0. So my 6 is going to have to go first, then my 11, then my negative 4, and then my other negative 4. Okay, so when we do synthetic division, we bring down the first coefficient, which is a 6. We're going to multiply and get negative 12. Let's add 11 plus negative 12 is negative 1. Multiply, I get positive 2. Add, I get negative 2. Multiply, I get positive 4. Add, I get 0. So if I were to write the answer, I would be 6x squared, because remember, we go down 1, minus 1x minus 2 with a remainder of 0. What does the 0 remainder mean? So if there's no remainder, what can that mean? It's a factor. That means if it goes in evenly, it's a factor. So if there was a way to factor it, it would go in perfectly. Okay, let's take a look at the next question. Oh, this is a you try. So you are going to write this question on your paper, and you're going to try it yourself. So you're going to pause the video, try the question, and then I am going to have the correct answer on the board after you pause the video. And then if you got it wrong, we will take a look at it next class, or you can try sending a message on Edmodo. So pause the video. Okay, the correct answer I'm going to write on the board so you can check your work. And that is the correct answer. See you next class.